Welcome to Wiretap episode 1. Actually, this is episode 0.
Episode 0, not
episode 0. Just we're all on the same page.
Yeah, so episode 0 is just the introduction of the podcast, who we are, what's going on, where we are, kind of our vision for the podcast, kind of what got us started. Just kind of background info for everyone. So I'll go ahead and start. I'm Spencer. I am an engineer. Well, I'm a mechanical engineering major at the University of Arizona. I have with me Cam and Rob. Why don't you guys say something?
Hi.
Hello.
Which voice is who?
I was the hello one.
I was also... did I say hey?
So the hello is Cameron.
Let me put it to you this way. Say your name and then start talking some more so that people can tie your name to your voice.
We are amateurs.
This is going great.
Neither of you have said your name yet.
My name is Cameron. I am a roommate to Spencer. I'm one of the only men in the College of Education here at the U of A, the University of Arizona, not to be confused with the other U of A, University of Alabama. Weirdos.
We have nothing against Alabama, for the record. I just wanted to put that out there.
I do.
Cam has a problem with Alabama.
I am the third branch of this podcast. My name is Robert DeBouchet. I am a filmmaker and marketing major here at the University of Alabama and
Whoa.
Arizona. And
That's good.
I do marketing as a student, but don't enjoy it, and actually want to be a filmmaker, which I do professionally on the side, full-time, part-time.
Nice.
So that's me. I'm not one of their roommates.
Yeah, Rob lives separately from us. It's in our house. It's me and Cam and another guy, Cedar. He's not on the podcast, but I'm sure he will be at one point
As a guest.
Right. So, Rob, when was it that we first started talking about making a podcast?
Well, I feel like that's a long story, because I feel like we only started talking about making a podcast last semester, towards the end of last semester at some point, like December, roughly. But I think that is kind of a long time coming. Yeah,
because I had thought we had thrown out we had been like, oh, let's make a podcast, like, within the year of first meeting, right?
I don't think so. I think that it's one of those things where you would think that, because freshman year you have
the number of discussions
those podcast-worthy discussions, but I don't think we ever dropped that we should start a podcast until last fall.
Okay.
Last fall, winter.
And Cam, I think we've had similar conversations, right?
Well, I mean, to be fair, the only conversations you and I have had about podcasts were, Cam, if you were going to start a podcast, what would be on that podcast? And that was kind of just a hypothetical, kind of a fun question to talk about while I did the dishes.
Now, was that... What is your earliest recollection of one of those types of conversations between me and you? I'm trying to get a sense of the timeline of this podcast from inception to now here we are.
Yeah.
Hey, nice one. Probably last fall as well.
Okay, so it had kind of come up at right around the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But we have made movies together, or
That's true.
short films.
Mm-hmm. We've worked on various multimedia projects together.
That sounds more professional.
But have not delved into the world of audio-related, non-fiction work.
So, one of the movies was the Clipped. It was called, right?
Clipped?
We started out with
that was the one.
That wasn't the first one, though.
Right, but that was the one in the bathroom. It was called Clipped, is what I'm asking now?
Yes, it was.
So that one, I think, with our sound guy, Hunter, that was my first, I guess, introduction to how sound or professional sound worked. You know, like the recorder and the mixer and the microphones and boom mics and all that stuff. And I think that might have been a strong encouragement, maybe, or
motivation.
Mm-hmm. Being like,
interest, kind of sparking.
This is sweet. I wonder what all of this stuff does. I'm gonna figure it out. Yeah.
Because you were the BTS guy on that.
Right.
Behind the scenes,
yeah,
for those not in the industry.
I was on the...
Not in the industry.
The B-roll, if you will. Yeah, so that was fun. That was my first, I am the director of the behind the scenes. So I think kind of the creative control in that and being able to... I mean, as corny as it sounds, but, create something that's my own, even though it's just behind the scenes, but I don't know. I've always kind of had I want to create something. And when I had my painting class, a year ago at the Pima Community College, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the creation part of it, but it wasn't quite what I was looking for, because I'm not a very good painter.
He actually is a really good painter. We almost framed a couple of his works in our house. But...
See, if you spend enough time on something, you can hide the lack of skill with effort.
Preach.
Use effort to compensate for lack of skill. So, hopefully, this will be something that, I don't know, that I could get good at.
Get good, bro.
Get good, noob.
Yeah, no, I feel like if you look at that, because even though I edited that behind the scenes video, I feel like there's still a lot of your personality in that, more so than even my personality. Mm-hmm. So even though I was editing that video, your personality came through so much in the raw footage of it that it just kind of was inevitable in the...
I am inevitable.
No spoilers. Spencer has yet to see Endgame, as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, still haven't seen it yet.
Because he's just apparently not an American.
Because I'm not.
Yeah, he has an American flag on his shirt right now. So I guess I shouldn't be talking. No, but I think that. Yeah, I thought it was very fascinating to see how much of you was in that behind the scenes footage. And I know for a while also you were kicking around the idea of starting a YouTube channel of some kind.
Right.
And you were very interested in kicking around various ideas and what it could be. So, yeah. Yeah,
and it seems like this podcast is kind of the intersection of all of those interests of mine. Cam, what is your motivation or reasoning behind jumping on with this podcast?
That's a good question. Well, you see, I think I am just really good friends with you guys. So, you guys have the really formal creative outlets. I create through destruction. So it's a weird hypocrisy that exists in my life.
Now, what on earth do you mean you create through destruction?
That sounds very morbid.
What does that even mean?
You see, I am a martial artist. And so a lot of the things that I do in Rob's movies is I will act either incredibly, I don't know how you describe it, incredibly strange. I have a lot of crazy characters, but I also do the fighting choreography behind that. So if you check out the video Clipped, I am the lead fighter in that one.
Rob, is that video up anywhere? Is that on YouTube?
That is on YouTube.
What's your channel name?
Rob Debouché Films. So
nice.
Yeah. So if you look me up on YouTube, it'll be there. My face will be there.
Get some context for this.
You can see my entire life in film.
In his award-winning film, What Roommates Are For.
Yes, I won $200 for that one.
Mm-hmm, he did.
Where'd you win $200? For the listeners who are...
For the listeners not from here. In Tucson, Arizona, we have an art house movie theater called The Loft. It's pretty cool. And they do a weekly monthly competition for anybody who makes a short film. It's called First Friday Shorts, and you win $200 if you have the best short film of the night, and I did. And then all the monthly winners go to a year-end celebration. And the thing with that is, in that competition, after 3 minutes of the film being played, the audience can boo it off stage. So we made ours, I believe, 3 minutes and 30 seconds long, and we didn't get booed off stage.
All right.
Not even one boo.
Not even, yeah. We also packed the house, so if they booed, that would have been very awkward. No, but so we won that month, and then our film went to the end of the year Golden Gong award show,
In which we lost
terribly to all of the senior thesis films from U of A film students that were like 15 minutes long and shot on like red cameras with a budget. Although none of theirs won either. So, really the loft is for strange films, and our film wasn't quite strange enough. But it's fine. I'm not bitter.
I can be stranger, Rob. Just tell me and I'll be stranger. I swear.
We'll go full David Lynch next time.
Sweet.
David Lynch it. Lynch him.
No.
False.
No.
We'll cut that out.
So let's talk, like, when you think about what you want this podcast to turn into, what do you foresee?
Well, should we talk about...
What's your vision for the podcast?
Do we want to talk about the title and what the point is there? You're gesturing at me like I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
Was it your idea? Or was it my idea?
The title was
your idea,
my idea.
I think it was your idea.
I think it was Rob's idea.
I don't think so.
I mean, we'll have to go back through our messages, but I think my main idea was sneak attack.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, Wiretap, the reason we went with that is because we're just here having conversations, whether it's between the three of us or if we have one of our friends on as a guest, or even, I feel like this could turn into something where we interview professors about, what they do or stuff that interests them, and maybe get some more like professional interviews maybe.
You know who'd be a good interview? Victor Brayberg.
Yep. Victor Brayberg.
I don't know who that is.
Cam and I had a class with the professor, and he's a hoot.
A hoot.
He'd be a good David Lynch character. That's all I'm going to say.
I see. But anyway, yeah, so that's kind of what I'm foreseeing. So Wiretap is just a place to listen in on conversations. I kind of feel like people don't really talk as much anymore. Or maybe from what I've heard listening to other podcasts of people older, people of this generation don't have conversations like people of past generations have. So I almost see this as a way to remedy that in my small corner of the world.
Yeah. Revitalize conversation. Wiretap. Revitalize conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I feel that. I feel like Wiretap is a good, like, I don't know, I think it's just the overall idea is just being able to kind of peek in, right, on other people's worlds. That sounds very creepy and voyeuristic.
Yeah, no,
but you know what I'm saying?
I do get what you're like. That's through conversation you get a sense of other people's experiences and what they think about topics, and it's an opportunity for all parties involved to learn from one another. So I think that's kind of what you were getting at, right?
Yeah,
that's fair.
Cam, what about you? Do you have any kind of, or what do you want this podcast to turn into? When you think of the future of the podcast, what does that entail?
Well, I know we've talked about before, but one of the possible names that we had for the podcast was Snapshot, and being able to have a snapshot of our lives at this stage. I think college is a pretty formative set of years where we are growing intellectually and emotionally and how we think about the world. And so I think whether there's listeners or not, it'd be fun to kind of come back and take a look at what we thought about in our early 20s.
Mm-hmm. Almost a time capsule type thing.
Yeah. I think time capsule is one of them.
I think that was also one of them.
But
that's a little too on the nose, I feel like, as a name.
Yeah, plus it was pretty limiting, right?
Because then it just becomes about us, like, fully. Right. It's not as much of a... Yeah, it's too focused on just the three of us.
Yeah, and it kind of implies an end. This is something, I could foresee. Just keep it running, right? Like, I'm 30 and now I'm still doing the podcast, and this is what I'm talking about when I'm 40, 50, and, who knows, right?
For sure.
But, yeah, so that's who we are. That's what we think about this podcast, where we're headed. You guys got any other sort of information you want to pass along?
Do we want to talk at all about the types of things we'll be talking about? Or?
That's what I was thinking.
Sure.
Shit. I don't know.
Brought it up. Let's hear it.
Well, I know that we have interest in talking about the Enneagram personality test.
Yeah.
And what each of our personalities are and
how they relate with one another.
How they relate with one each other. Because I feel like that's something fascinating, is that we're all three of us are very fundamentally different people.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all kind of balance each other out.
That's true.
We're very yin yang, the three of us.
Yin yang. Well, three of us.
Yin yang yang. I don't know.
And then there's George.
Yin yang and George.
I'll be George. Gosh.
You can't be disappointed for something you volunteered.
I'll be George.
No, but so that'll be coming up at some point in the near future.
Yeah, that'll be in the near future.
Yeah. I know that we'll probably end up talking a lot about movies.
Yeah, movies will come out.
Yeah, we're pretty interested in movies, music, literature, and psychology. Oftentimes we break down why people do certain things, whether it's in movies, literature, music, or whether it's in just our little group.
I feel like, are always in a state of meta-analysis of
people
our world.
People are fascinating.
People be crazy.
There's quite a bit that if you just sit and observe, people are very interesting.
Spence, if you had an Instagram, I think your bio should say, "People are interesting," in quotes, then put me.
The other day, Taylor and I,
Taylor's his girlfriend.
Okay, yeah, for context, for those who don't know us, Taylor's my girlfriend of 2+ years.
I'd like to add that I introduced them as the bridge, if you will.
Anyway, so moving on. No, so she came up with the idea for Dead Day, because obviously Dead Day Eve, I guess. So Dead Day, for those who don't know, who those aren't in the university system, is a day where we don't have any classes and we're supposed to study, but nobody does, and everybody gets blackout drunk. And so Taylor had the brilliant idea of going to downtown Tucson and just people watching. I feel like that would have been we didn't end up doing it. But I feel like that would have been a great opportunity.
Oh yeah.
A lot of good bars down there to watch people.
Mm-hmm.
In an observant way, not a creepy way.
No, I mean, I think it's slightly creepy.
Slightly creepy.
I think it's about what face you have on at that moment, you know? Because I feel like you depending on
somebody else's face.
No, I feel
face off.
Yeah, you go face off. I love that movie so much. No, I mean if you're going full Hannibal Lecter out there on Dead Day Eve, you're gonna get some weird looks.
Yeah, I mean honestly though, no one's really paying attention.
That's true. You can get away with a lot. I'm surprised that more crime doesn't happen on Dead Day.
Tucson,
Dead Day Eve.
You can get away with a lot.
Actually, though.
Wait a second. I think we got off topic.
People are fascinating.
People are fascinating.
Quote Spence.
Yeah,
Right.
that's where we were. People are whack.
So yeah, that stuff we'll be talking about on the podcast. We'll be talking about how whack people are. And yeah, we'll take it kind of episode by episode. Each one different topic. See where it goes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan, man.
If you listen to this episode, thanks for listening. And we'll see you guys next time.
You'll be one of the first listeners. Appreciate it.
Peace.
Have a good one.